Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to try and explain the Uncle Howdy character the best I can from 2022 to 2024, because I appreciate the Uncle Howdy character was extremely confusing. So many layers, so many complexities that no wonder we were all confused. And also at the same time, I appreciate there are a lot of fans that are new to the WWE product and have maybe just followed the journey of the Wyatt 6 and might not know about the previous storyline involving Uncle Howdy. Now again, this is just my personal opinion, my theories, so get down in the comment section, share your wildest theories and what potentially you think the future holds with Bo Dallas and his darker alter ego in Uncle Howdy. Now we know now from the Bray Wyatt documentary that the origins of the Uncle Howdy character go all the way back to Bray Wyatt's childhood. Uncle Howdy was a ghost-like figure that haunted Bray Wyatt in his childhood, and that's why I think we've seen a lot of these VHS style promo videos from Bo Dallas and co in 2024. I think that's drawing inspiration from the Uncle Howdy character and that time frame it originated, because Bray Wyatt was born in 1987? So if you think about it, in his childhood, that would have been around the era of VHS. DVD didn't come in until like early 2000s, so it makes sense on a time frame. Also, there's a family feel about VHS videos, and of course, the Wyatt 6 is a family. Now, the very first time we saw Uncle Howdy on a WWE TV was actually on a WWE TV set within the Firefly Funhouse, a deserted Firefly Funhouse at Extreme Rules 2022 when Bray Wyatt returned. And we also saw Bray Wyatt wearing an Uncle Howdy mask. Now we know from previous that any time we saw the Firefly Funhouse on WWE TV, we were basically walking in to Bray Wyatt's creative genius mind. And he was essentially showcasing what was going on in that genius mind. It was fantasy, but sometimes fantasy becomes real. And we saw that from The Fiend, a character that was in the Firefly Funhouse that then came to life, and Wyndham portrayed The Fiend physically. That iconic character came to life. If you roll up to the present day right now, we of course have seen the Firefly Funhouse puppets, a creation within Bray's mind, come to life. So bearing that in mind, at Extreme Rules 2022, looking into the deserted Firefly Funhouse was taking a look again into Bray Wyatt's mind, and we were picking right where we left off at WrestleMania 37, and we'll come into that in a moment. In Bray's mind, the Firefly Funhouse, his creation, was destroyed. It was deserted until we saw Uncle Howdy come to life within the Firefly Funhouse on that television set, saying, "Delilah? Who killed the world? You did, madam. We did," blaming both Alexa and the weaker, more vulnerable side of Bray for killing the world, sending the Fiend away. So not only did we see the debut of Uncle Howdy on that screen, we saw, I suppose, the rebirth of Uncle Howdy in Bray Wyatt's mind, knowing at that time that Uncle Howdy was a part of Bray Wyatt's psyche, his darkest psyche, his more sinister side. And I honestly feel that's why we saw these cleverly shot backstage promos with the contrast in light between blue and red. Bray Wyatt was psychologically damaged, psychologically torn. In a way, I suppose you could say he had a good and a dark side. The blue side was absolutely in denial and would often get exposed because he'd lie quite a lot, saying he doesn't watch his matches, and he does, saying that he doesn't want to wear a mask and become the Fiend again because it ruined his life and pushed others away. He doesn't want to be known as that. He wants to be known as Bray Wyatt. He'd constantly address promos as, "I want to be known as Bray. I want to be known as a wrestler from a prestigious wrestling family." He was slightly aware, I suppose, in a way, that he had psychological issues, claiming just to be a servant to Uncle Howdy. but ultimately not being responsible for his actions. And of course you've got Uncle Howdy, the dark side of Bray's psyche, exposing Bray's lies, exposing psychological reports. He knew eventually that Bray Wyatt was going to cave in, embrace the darkness, and become the Fiend once more to get through to Alexa. He blamed the lighter side of Bray for killing the world. Yes, Alexa Bliss cost the Fiend at WrestleMania 37 against Randy Orton, but ultimately Bray Wyatt, the real man, gave up the Fiend, gave up the Firefly Funhouse, and ultimately in turn you could say both Alexa and Bray killed the world, just like what Uncle Howdy said at Extreme Rules 2022. And it was very obvious what the dark side of Bray wanted to do. His true intentions, Uncle Howdy's direction, was to get Bray to fully embrace the darkness again, to let Alexa know that she was not the one in charge, to use Alexa to revive the Fiend, and ultimately make out, I suppose, in a sense, that both Bray and Alexa were potentially just going to be servants to Uncle Howdy, because Bray Wyatt was so psychologically torn and so irresponsible and not in control of his actions. He wouldn't allude to or fully embrace Uncle Howdy. And remember that promo, the Raw after Extreme Rules 2022, when Uncle Howdy on the screen said, "I used to think that the prison inside my head was the only place that I could truly be free. Revel in what you are." Getting Bray Wyatt to fully embrace the darkness was maybe going to take a little bit of time, but eventually he was going to get there, because the ghost in the machine in Uncle Howdy knew everything that Bray was thinking. He knew that Bray was going to become the Fiend once more. And Bray deep down, even the lighter side of Bray, knew that also, and therefore was lying to us fans when he said he wasn't going to be that man again. There were so many cool Uncle Howdy promos, with Uncle Howdy claiming to be the ghost of the man who sold the world, blaming Bray for sending the Fiend away. Knew that Bray Wyatt was just wearing a mask in the sense that he was covering the real Bray, which was that dark, sinister version. We saw multiple times Bray Wyatt almost looking like he's letting the mask slip. I know what he thinks, I know how he feels. Lie for me, it's all fiction. Do you think they'd still love you if they knew the truth? A snake in a cage is still a snake. Never lie to the ones you love. He was exposing Bray Wyatt left, right and centre, exposing psychological reports. Ultimately, Bray Wyatt in time was going to fully embrace Uncle Howdy, and we saw that become evident. Uncle Howdy would then intensify in Bray Wyatt's mind. Bray would start a feud with LA Knight, attack LA Knight multiple times in an Uncle Howdy mask, making out that he wasn't Uncle Howdy by having this imposter Uncle Howdy suddenly appear with Bray Wyatt laughter in the background with these sound effects. Bray Wyatt would attack a cameraman, an innocent cameraman, with the mandible claw, the Fiend's finishing manoeuvre, saying, "Let me in," just before he does it. I swear he said that anyway. And then, of course, you would see Uncle Howdy apparently attack Bray Wyatt because all he needed was a little push. But it was genius, because it was Bray Wyatt using his brother Bo Dallas at this stage to portray Uncle Howdy to protect him, so his lies weren't exposed. "Lie for me, brother. Know not what you said. Use me for cover." Making out that all he needed was a little push. And from that moment you could see Bray Wyatt embrace Uncle Howdy even more, claiming to be Uncle Howdy in the end. "I am the Eater of Worlds. I am Uncle Howdy. I am him." He would then start to fully embrace the darkness, and of course we saw that new character reveal at the Royal Rumble. Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy in sync, Bray Wyatt in control of his family, and seemingly we were starting to see the mask start to slip. And of course, from Crown Jewel 2022, we saw Uncle Howdy also targeting Alexa Bliss. Uncle Howdy wanted to use Alexa Bliss, I'm assuming, to revive the Fiend. What was going to follow after that, I do not know. Bray Wyatt did say in a post-Royal Rumble interview that him and Alexa Bliss would always be connected in some way. So it'd be interesting to see how Alexa Bliss is utilised down the line, when Alexa Bliss was a huge part of the original Uncle Howdy storyline, involving potentially the Fiend version 2. And then obviously, due to the heartbreaking, emotional and absolutely tragic passing of Wyndham Rotunda, aka Bray Wyatt, we never got to see the original storyline play out. However, cue 2024 and of course the birth of the Wyatt 6. Bo Dallas fully embracing Uncle Howdy physically to honour the legacy of Bray Wyatt. And we knew that Uncle Howdy was going to be revived. The spirit of Bray Wyatt lives on, and that's how it feels to me, that this version we see to the current day is Bo Dallas embracing not only Uncle Howdy but also the spirit of his brother. And it feels like this version of Uncle Howdy is various versions of Bray Wyatt's genius creations rolled into one. I mean, look at the gauntlet. That's literally made from previous Fiend material, and the character, of course, that we saw at the Royal Rumble. So that's a really, really nice hats off to Bray in the most tasteful way. And through the Nightbird campaign, we of course saw teases as to what was to come, with Uncle Howdy recruiting damaged and lost souls, people that had experienced hurt, lost loved ones, been pushed away, abandoned, and he got them all together to form the Wyatt 6. And now, of course, we got Nikki Cross portraying Sister Abigail, Dexter Loomis portraying Mercy the Buzzard, Joe Gacy portraying Huskus the Pig Boy, and of course Eric Rowan portraying Ramblin' Rabbit, with Bo Dallas fully embracing Uncle Howdy. Just like the Fiend in the Firefly Funhouse came to life, we've now got Uncle Howdy, seemingly the dark psyche within Bray's mind, coming to life. But for real this time, it seems, not just to protect his brother. And I'm not sure moving forward whether we're going to see this version of Uncle Howdy permanently. I think there's a reason why at the moment that Uncle Howdy doesn't have his individual theme and that he comes out to the Shatter theme, because I feel there's going to be more evolution with Bo Dallas. If we think about the initial Uncle Howdy run, the initial Uncle Howdy storyline, his mission was to get Bray Wyatt to embrace the darkness, to bring out his darkest alter ego in the Fiend, to use Alexa to revive the Fiend. What does Uncle Howdy have in store now? The work is not done. The work goes on. My life for you. What does that mean? How is this going to tie in with Alexa Bliss? Are we going to see a new character from Alexa Bliss entirely? Are we going to see Lilith, aka the Night Demon, come to life? Like, that would be wild. Is she going to be part of the Wyatt 6? A lot of people don't want to see it. A lot of people do. We can't rule out Alexa Bliss. She was a massive part of the original Bray Wyatt Uncle Howdy storyline. How's it going to tie in now? There's no Fiend. It wouldn't really feel tasteful for anyone other than Wyndham to portray the Fiend ever again. That was Wyndham's creation, right? But we know what Bray Wyatt said. Him and Alexa will always be connected. Wyndham would have wanted Alexa to be part of this. So what's to come, we do not know. We're going to have to wait and see. But I certainly feel that Bo Dallas is going to evolve. I'd be very surprised if he permanently portrays this role in Uncle Howdy. Maybe Uncle Howdy has a different direction for Bo Dallas. But for the moment, of course, there's going to be all these tributes. They're going to be a massively over babyface faction for the short term. But down the line, I'd love to see some heel work come in. I really would. I think it's got huge potential. Remember, they did start off with a massacre, destroying all the backstage staff. So it's only going to go on to bigger and better and darker things as we move forward. But Uncle Howdy did torture Bo Dallas emotionally, claiming that he was going to be exploiting his brother's legacy. Like, he did torture Bo Dallas before sort of taking over Bo Dallas, and then Bo Dallas portraying him physically. There's so many complex, deep layers to all of this. Absolutely love it. But that's us to the present day. What do you think comes next? What do you think about the Uncle Howdy character in general? Do you like the attire? Like me, you're not the biggest fan of the latest hairpiece and prefer the dreadlocks? What do you think? Get down in the comments section. What do you think comes next with the Wyatt 6? How does Alexa Bliss tie in? What is the vision? Thank you so much for watching the video. As always, it'd be very much appreciated if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new. We'll catch you in the next one.